Hello, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful break in some of the critical hit action and you were able to take some time and spend it with other people. Here in the United States, we were doing Thanksgiving, but now we are into the holiday gift-giving season. And oh man, what are you looking forward to this year? Some new dice, perhaps? Maybe you're looking forward to some new player's guides? How about this as a gift idea? Harry's, a gift that's thoughtful and practical. I've been using Harry's razors for years, and I got to tell you, I really love the Harry's shave set. And now that it's the holiday shopping season, listeners of this show can get $5 off any Harry's shave set by heading to harrys.com/critical hit. Free shipping ends December 16th, so make sure that you act now. Here's what I mean by saying a practical gift. It's something that you're actually going to end up using, whether you're getting it for yourself or for someone else. Harry's makes sharp blades that last. They've got this German company that they bought years ago, and it is this German engineering has won several awards. It's a great deal that we have going right now. Holiday sets start at just $20, and if you're doing some Secret Santas, that's within most of those Secret Santa limits. And Harry's blades refills are as low as $2 each, so the person that you buy this gift for will save money over time. Here's the nice thing about getting in on this action right now. Not only are you going to get a $5 off any Harry shave set, if you go in for the holiday gift box, this thing is just wonderful. It's packaged perfectly. Here's what you get in the Harry's holiday gift set that, again, just starts at $20. The Harry's signature Truman or Chrome Winston handle with an option to engrave. If you're going to get that engraving, don't wait till the last minute on that one. The limited edition holiday handle is a really neat take on the Winston set with a Christmas red grip color. And I love the red grip. You get the 3 German engineered blade cartridges, each with the flex hinge and a lubricating strip, a full-size foaming shave gel for rich lather, a travel cover to protect your blades when you're on the move, and it's all packaged in a bright holiday gift box. It's a pretty cool deal. So again, as a special offer for fans of this show, we've partnered with Harry's to give you $5 off any shave set, including the limited edition holiday set, when you go to harrys.com/critical hit. Plus, you'll get free shipping. Here's the thing, though. If you want that free shipping, you need to act fast because the free shipping ends on December 16th. So what are you waiting for? Go to harrys.com/critical hit. That's harrys.com/critical hit. So again, give a gift that's thoughtful and practical with a gift set from Harry's. Go to harrys.com/critical hit. And thank you, Harry's, for sponsoring this episode of Critical Hit. Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and checking us out this week. Oh boy, a first between Trolls and Dwarves, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
So exciting! I know it's been a while.
Yeah,
because of the holiday. But of course, those of you who are future people, you probably didn't even notice a gap. So congratulations to you.
For the future,
I guess. I mean, if there is a future.
Just remember, when it comes to the relations between fictional creatures, you have to remember Professor Chris Knight's words: moles and trolls, moles and trolls, moles and trolls. And I think it's important that we think
Rigo,
about that.
how about you take us down a path of fun tonight?
Well, we'll try.
Carnage, fun, it's all the same thing.
Last time
On
Critical
Critical
Hit.
Hit.
You guys had, in fact, managed to align a negotiation between the dwarves of Bumblehearth and your new best friend, Dwali the Troll.
We have a lot in common, he and I.
For instance, you've both tried to eat a pine cone.
That's true.
But why?
Well, you're out in the wild, you get curious.
Why
That's
does
fair.
man climb a mountain? Because
I
it is
often
there.
wonder what grass tastes like to animals.
Yeah, you guys were making your way to a rendezvous point, which was where?
The Bleakstone Caverns.
There we go. Thank you.
We will pick up as you guys arrive at a sort of more rural area that has, again, almost every place that you go to has some evidence of having had patrols come through, or even like a temporary outpost. Dwali seems to know pretty well where they are, so nothing accosts you, at least until you get to your destination. But yeah, there's just patrols all over the place, or the evidence of patrols all over the place. You guys are pretty far from the center of the island, so they're a lot thinner out here than they are as you move inward. But eventually you find your way to a big hill that has a large cave opening, which is in fact labeled as Bleakstone Caverns.
Labeled how? Is there like a sign or?
Like on the map or?
Both. It is labeled on the map. Well, it's not labeled as Bleakstone Caverns on the map, but the map does label this area as Bleakstone. In fact, there's a Bleakstone keep south of where you guys are, which is almost certainly occupied. There's just these caverns here, but when you get there, the caverns are in fact labeled. The stone above the entrance has an actual engraved marking that says Bleakstone Caverns.
In Common or Dwarven?
In Dwarven.
So we wait for Albrecht to tell us what that says.
That's sounds like this is the place.
Is it big enough for Diwali to enter?
It doesn't look like it is.
Is it big enough for us to enter?
I guess we'll have to go in for you and see if we can maybe get a dwarf ambassador to come seal the deal with you out here.
No, can get in.
Okay.
Oh, can you make yourself smaller?
No.
Then how are you gonna get in?
Squeeze in.
Oh, that seems uncomfortable.
So we lead the way, or do you want to go first?
No, you first.
All right.
That way, if dwarf ambush, you die first.
Seems reasonable.
It does.
All right. Let's go.
You guys want to give me a marching order?
Somewhere in the middle for
Oh.
me, since I can't see anything.
Take point.
I'll go ahead and lead.
Okay.
Actually, Albrecht will definitely lead.
Yeah, I'll
He
take
seems very leadery.
second since I can like look out for traps and such.
You wanna have Sakar bring up the back?
Sure, just in case that
That'll
troll
work.
decides to backstab us.
Okay.
He can make himself difficult to eat.
Yes.
So like Dalin and Seven Owls in the middle.
Yep.
Sure.
This entrance isn't too small, so you don't always need to walk one at a time. But it is, it does get narrow at times. And after you guys are all in, Diwali will like press his face against the opening, and just you guys see his like his cheeks like stretch until he just like pops through. And he just starts moving forward. And, if you look back, all you can see are these like giant glowing eyes behind you, where he's just like, often the tunnel is, possibly smaller than his actual head, but he still manages to squeeze through somehow.
It's like an octopus.
Yes.
Mhm.
Should not be possible.
Oh, very possible.
Hmm.
How you think trolls hunt dwarves?
I hadn't
That
really
is a
thought about
valid
that.
point. I had never considered.
Ambush tactics?
That too.
Lack
how you
of
got
skeletal
us.
structure.
That only if troll is by all alone. If multiple trolls, everyone squeeze down tunnel, dwarves try to escape, you eat them.
Seems efficient.
It doesn't take very long for you guys to get to a wide chamber lit by sun rods, occupied by maybe about a dozen dwarves. You immediately recognize three dwarves that you know: Otto, Barrett, and Denby, who is the if you'll recall, the head of the Bumble Hearth Resistance are all here, plus an armed escort of really significant size. They see you guys kind of round the corner into the chamber and wave. At which point, they see Dwally's face push up again, like basically pop into the opening, and then they all kind of do a collective like step back and like clutch weapons.
I think everything's okay.
Yeah,
We hope.
he's with us.
Dwally kind of pushes himself into the chamber, and now you see that at least one, if not both of his shoulders had been like entirely dislocated, and he kind of like they like pop back into place as he like unfolds himself into the chamber, which is itself not very tall. So he's kind of doing that thing that he was doing before, where he's moving around on his like on his haunches, kind of like squatting. There's basically like his head is maybe just a little bit higher up. It's like his head is like basically down where his like stomach would be. Like his back is just like completely arched downward, and his arms are kind of like his elbows are just like touching the ground, which means that his arms kind of have to be either up or like forward. And when they're forward, they're like they basically encompass you as a party.
Not creepy at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks uncomfortable, but he doesn't seem uncomfortable.
I nudge Albrecht.
Oh.
Basically, we were gonna make a deal here to provide this guy some food in exchange for his assistance.
Well, so how do we know we can trust it?
Well, he hasn't eaten us yet.
Hmm.
And he understands that his survival and your survival are likely linked at this point.
Yes, we had discussed that. Our resources are very limited at this point. We don't really know that we have that much to offer.
Well, we need to find a way into the city to the pillar, and any resources that you can offer will certainly be of help.
And hopefully, if we were actually able to deal with the pillar, you'll be able to gain more resources.
That is true. Well, Troll, what say you? What are your demands? Want hunting ground? Want mead? Want meat? No, have to be dwarf meat. And just kind of trails off. And they're like, and in return, he scratches his head. Me. I fight ghosts with you, not eat you. Fight me, kill me. Yeah, fight stupid dwarf war with ghosts. And they all kind of look at each other like, well, I suppose in so many words that's what we were expecting. Let us write some stuff down, and we'll see if it's to your liking. And basically, the three named characters kind of go off and to like a makeshift stone table and start writing some stuff down. And the rest of the guard kind of stays where it is and to keep an eye on the troll.
So, yeah.
Well, I guess what's the plan if this all works?
Get to the pillar, insert the gourd.
Yes.
We let the dwarves and troll fight the brunt of the force at the city, and then rush to the pillar.
Sounds good.
That seemed to be the gist of the plan when we were assuming it would be a force of dwarves we were finding.
But we may need to be diplomats between the two now.
I think once they get their contract signed, everything will be fine. Right, Troll? Right, Dwally?
Not if dwarves renege on contract, then I eat them.
Well, I understand that, but I don't think they're going to be attacking you.
Oh, that's good.
And you'll listen to them when they say what to attack?
What mean what to attack?
Oh, like, when they tell you when to attack things and what to attack, like what
Oh yeah,
which ghosts.
not stupid.
I'm not saying you're stupid. I was just making sure that you didn't mind taking, suggestions from dwarves in terms of your.
No. Understand pretty well battle and tactics. Get that you have to work together if you work together.
Good.
Fair enough.
This hopefully should be a good arrangement.
Know when poor planning is happening. Easy to fall into trap, remember?
Yes.
Have you seen the city? That's
Which city?
Currently where the pillar is at?
This island very full of cities.
Mhm.
Mostly cities.
Mm-hmm. But have you been to or seen the one that has the giant pillar?
Was there a few months ago. Now overrun with ghosts, very far away.
Yeah, you haven't been there since the ghost took over.
No.
Well, if you have any good ideas on how to get to the pillar and avoid as many ghosts as possible, or kill as many ghosts as possible, I'm sure everyone would be interested in your thoughts.
Might have some ideas. The dwarves come back with a contract kind of looking thing, and they like hold it out, and Dwally reaches over and grabs it like with his thumb and his index finger and like brings it to his face.
Please tell me he has a pair of giant reading glasses.
He has a
Great.
monocle.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's really like a big piece of glass that he holds up between, like he doesn't hold it right to his face. He holds it like between the contract and himself.
I mean, that's fair. It's much tinier font than his eyes.
Oh yeah, it's very small. Change this to 126, and we have deal. And the dwarves take it back. They look at each other, nod, make the change, sign it, hold it out for him to sign. He grips a tiny quill to him and makes a big X.
All
and
right.
They lay the contract down and says, well, Dolly, welcome to the Dwarf Resistance. Oh, yes, very exciting.
This is an historic day.
All right, well, since we're here, let's talk tactics. And they lay down the map of the island. And they're like, okay, we are here. The pillar is all the way down here. Assume that at every, if you think of everything around this area where the pillar is as a ring, each ring gets progressively more difficult to cross going from the outside in. A single group of 5 people, 20 people, 100 people, 3 people is almost certainly not going to make it all the way in, as eventually patrols get so frequent and countermeasures so thorough that anything trying to make their way all the way through is almost certainly going to be caught or decimated or eventually cut off from resources to the point where they would have to surrender, which almost certainly would mean death. That is why we believe that our best bet is to try to actually take territory to get us as close as possible, essentially forming a wedge and giving the enemy something to mobilize their forces against. Essentially, if we take, for example, Bleakstone Keep, that will turn the enemy towards Bleakstone Keep, essentially relaxing one of the rings of attack and making it easier to pass through. If we were then able to take another military target on the way, that would actually, again, focus the enemy down on those and make it much easier for somebody to pass through.
Makes sense. So should that be Dwali's job?
I think it's all our jobs.
Fair enough.
We really don't have a lot of resources, so it's going to take pretty much all we have to take even a single target. But Bleakstone Keep is not very heavily manned. It is a dwarven keep, so it is going to be difficult to take. But because it's so far out and so far away from the coast itself, it's not a priority as far as we know. If we're able to take it, we should be able to then use it as a headquarters. We should be able to defend it pretty well, and any resources that we find inside or in the adjoining city, we should be able to turn towards the campaign.
Seems reasonable.
This sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
From what you know, are there particular areas where we would be best to try to move in and take it?
Well, a direct assault against the keep is ill-advised. The keep has 2 large gates, one on either side. The best way to take it would probably be to try to sneak a team inside or get a team inside somehow and have them open one of the gates and then have our troops move in. Once the gate is open, the majority of their defenses will have to be pointed inward, which will make for a significantly tougher fight for them, but easier fight for us simply because of the way that we have been trained to fight.
Well, we can at least attempt infiltration.
What if we build a big wooden statue of Asmodeus? Then we hide inside, and then they open the gates and pull the statue in. And then when they're all asleep, we spring out and attack.
Aren't these all forces of the Obsidian Huntress?
Then we should build a statue of her.
Do you know what she looks like?
It's made of wood. It's going to not look perfect.
A
couple of arms, a head.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna.
A noise that
gonna
goes,
work.
"Ooh, I'm the Obsidian Huntress."
Yeah, not so much.
She's a god, not a ghost.
Yes, she's a god of ghosts. Yeah, so infiltrating past ghosts is tricky, though I guess we did that to some degree to even get here.
Some of them didn't seem very interested in doing their job.
Yeah, but the problem is like finding the ones that are not interested in doing their jobs or intimidating them, or I mean, it's doable. We've shown it's doable. This is just kind of like a larger scale than what we were dealing with on the way here.
Agreed.
So I guess we can try some combination of like scouting a path and moving past the ghosts and fighting skirmishes and running, and try to get into the keep and throw down the gate.
Mhm.
Like if I knew a better way of deceiving ghosts, I would say that would be good, but I don't, aside from the wards, I don't really know much about them or how, if there's like a way to like, I don't know, make them ignore us or.
Well, it will take considerable skill to overcome this challenge. Does anybody know how to? I mean, how have you, looking at all the dwarves that are here, how have you managed to avoid the ghosts that patrol?
We don't really avoid them so much as they can't get into where we are because it's warded. Other than that, when we need to travel, we just try to keep track of what their patrol routes are
do you have any intelligence on the patrol routes leading to the Bleak Keep or Bleakstone Keep?
Not as such, but there are only a few patrols that radiate out from it. Again, it's not all that heavily fortified, so observing those patrols and timing our movements shouldn't be too hard. I suppose we are going to have an enormous troll with us, but seeing as how they haven't caught him yet, I assume he's quiet.
Surprisingly
is.
so.
And crafty. All right.
I'll
Well,
give him that.
let's do this thing. Or now, I guess, I mean, not much more planning is going to be good. We know basically what we're up against, so it's going to be a matter of scouting and watching the patrol rotations and getting eyes on the keep and what its status is now. And we'll have to kind of probably play it by ear.
Yes. We are going to call up the rest of our forces, so it should take them a little under a day to get here.
Okay. Well, we can use that time to try to get closer and do some reconnaissance ourselves. Get into position to be ready to throw open the gates. Is there a way you can send us signal when you're ready?
There is. We just need to agree on what the signal would be.
I don't know. What are you suggesting?
I think it would be best if you scouted and then returned, and we'll discuss it once the entire force is here.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I think I stay here.
Yeah, that seems very reasonable.
I guess let's go look around.
You guys managed to walk around and squeeze past Dwally on the way back up, and you can get to back to the entrance of the caverns.
Do there seem to be any ghost sextant right outside where we can see any?
No.
Good. Is this area warded?
No.
Okay, well, let's be sneaky and get over there.
I mean, well, how about I necessarily sneak, because I'm a lot sneakier than anyone else here. I mean, Seven's decently sneaky, but
yeah, I'm decently sneaky.
Maybe you can come with me, and then the rest of you, I don't know if you have magic-y stuff you could do to try to get some information on what we're up against.
Not without seeing it.
All right.
Really?
Well, all right, then I'll move ahead, and then I can backtrack a bit to signal you when things are safe.
Sounds good.
All right.
Rodrigo?
Yes.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
If one turns into a shadowy wolfy thing,
mm-hmm.
does one have the ability to communicate in the same way that one normally does in one's awesome humanoid form?
I would say yes, unless the power specifies otherwise.
Cannot attack, have dark vision, ignore difficult terrain, +5 power bonus to any stealth check. It does not imply.
Yeah, then yes.
So if Sparkle is going ahead, I could conceivably act as go-between between Sparkle and the rest of the party as a very hard to see, weird little wolfy, shadowy blood thing.
Sure.
Sounds fun.
Which would actually give me a decent stealth. Not like Sparkle level stealth, but stealth, more than...
So is Seven Owls going or not?
Do you want to?
I mean, I've got a stealth of 23.
That's totally respectable. Then I'd say you should
go.
He's already gone. You guys didn't even notice. He's so stealthy.
Stealthing it up.
Okay, why don't you guys, everybody who's going, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
If Seven is going, I think I shall not.
Well,
okay.
So if the other two stay behind, they've got a troll and some dwarves to help them. If you go with, then you have 3 on our party. I didn't roll very high.
Am I misunderstanding what staying behind meant? I thought we were all going out to do reconnaissance and that Sparkle was going to go ahead and the rest of us were going to follow behind.
Yeah, we're all leaving the cave. It's just that I'm taking, and me and Seven are taking point, so that with everyone else following at a reasonably safe distance.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
So-
I rolled a 31.
I've got a 45.
Dang.
7 Owls Wise and Little Sparkle start moving forward ahead of everyone else. So, basically moving through. Again, this area is very rocky, has a lot of big rocky outcroppings. The keep is above ground and just has these winding paths leading to it through these big chunks of rock that make it very difficult to basically see down the path. So it's kind of slow going, especially if you are sneaking up, looking around, trying to be quiet in between. Why don't the two of you give me a nature check?
Oh, a nature check.
Because I'm very bad at that.
Oh, suddenly having Sakara along didn't seem like such a bad idea.
Ooh, at least
37.
7 delivered.
Nice.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's 18 here, so.
Okay. Wow.
That's pretty bad.
Well, she's streetwise. These are not streets.
Yeah, Sparkle has repeatedly said she does not like being out in nature.
Streetwise, forest dumb.
She is a city gal.
Back in the back, as Sakar and Dallin and Albrecht make their way up as quietly as they can, waiting for their scouts to come back. You kind of see up ahead that there's all these like big craggy rocks, and you just see one of them, like the top of one, like slide off and crash down to the ground, making a ton of noise, and manage to cap like the briefest sort of off green glimpse of something like ducking back behind it. And kind of as the two of them make their way back to you guys, you see a group of ghosts gather around and try to inspect what happened there, but no, they don't seem to be aware of your position.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Shh, be quiet.
That's good.
Do we know what just happened there?
Yeah, Little Sparkle knocked a rock over and it made a huge amount of noise.
Oh, cool.
I didn't know that was a load-bearing rock.
Had it been a street sign, it would have been perfectly fine.
Yeah, exactly. They should really label these things. I guess once we've scouted a reasonable distance, we'll double back and say, yeah, this is kind of rough going. It might be best for us all to stay closer together.
Okay.
Your call, Lady Sparkle.
I mean, I don't know, Rodrigo, what do I think? Like as we're moving forward, do I think it would be like better for there to be a someone who knows how to guide us through the natural hazards here, or is that just going to get in the way of like make us really obvious to these ghost patrols?
No, in fact, this is not like if you were by yourself, you would reasonably be able to use the terrain to hide because you're good at hiding.
Mhm.
But this is definitely a question of this is like wild natural terrain. You guys are basically walking through like rocky hills, and like it's more relevant to know like to have somebody who can look at a rock outcropping, like a natural rock outcropping, and be like, if I was going to put an ambush point or a lookout tower, I would put it over there, which would almost certainly be more of a nature check than
Fair enough.
anything else.
So yeah, I think that honestly, Dallin and Zakar's skills are going to be pretty important moving forward. So we should all stick together so that they can look out for traps, natural and otherwise.
There we go.
All right.
All right. So anybody who wants to take point on that can give me a nature check.
Sure.
Mm,
What is the
I'm
nature of
on
my
board
nature
with a
these
nature
days?
check. Well, you're kind of unnatural.
Says the vampire.
Half.
Half.
It should be noted that half is still perfectly natural.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Eh,
I will point out that there is a natural type, and I do not think Sakara is technically natural.
I think he might
Well,
be sort of
neither
undead.
is Dahlin.
I don't know. I'd have no. That's true. Dalin is
With his-
also not natural.
with his face on his head, and
Yes.
that's why we rolled exactly the same thing.
But I
Except
think the
his was
rest of
better.
us are technically natural.
Have you
So-
looked at your beak lately?
Yeah, it's supernatural. It occurs in nature.
That is probably not the best adjective to use in that situation.
Yes.
Or adverb, whichever one it is. I forget. Lolly, lolly, lolly.
The keep main source of defense, which is not immediately obvious until you guys start moving towards it, is in fact the fact that it's in a very rough terrain. In fact, there's all of these rock outcroppings, then a kind of a small hamlet that connects to it that's on the outside of the walls, and then the rest of a small city that is within the walls. Lots of places to move, lots of places to hide. You guys are able to, between Dalin and Sakar, you are able to more or less logic. Again, if you were going to have a patrol, which direction would it go and where would it be to get the most ground, and kind of counterintuitive your way into not being spotted and into like being able to spot where the lookout towers are, which usually only have one ghost, if not are completely unmanned. But between the two of you, and with the others backing you up, you're able to more or less map out the area around the keep, and also find a place. You can't find any place that's very high, unfortunately. The keep is kind of the highest place, but you're able to kind of suss out a few hiding places that where you're actually like sneaky people can kind of cloister themselves and keep track of patrols as they come by.
Sounds good.
Sneak.
I will cloister.
Okay. Well, and then it's just kind of a matter of time to figure out where the patrols are. You just kind of have to put in the time to be like, okay, well, it takes them about this long to go around. Some of them are diligent, some of them are just kind of patrolling because clearly they have to, as opposed to, being like very aware and like overturning rocks and stuff to make sure that nothing's behind them. They're just kind of some of them are just walking down the path and trying to go as fast as possible, while others are actually like spending time in areas that you would obviously consider to be vulnerable or obvious hiding places, and spending some time looking around before they move on.
So is it easy to distinguish each set of patrols? Or do they look very similar to one another?
Well, they all look the same. Like
Right.
they all look like ghosts.
Yeah, so it's not easy to tell one patrol from another, so we can't tell, oh, here comes the dumb patrol, we've got plenty of time, or here comes the really alert patrol, we need to be a little bit more aware.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, there is, if you see them for long enough, like if you can spot them a good long while before they get close to you, then you can tell like, yeah, that patrol is clearly like moving as fast as they can so that they can finish their rounds. Or you might look at another patrol and be able to tell that they're actually like taking their time and scouting around.
Mm-hmm. Now, do the patrols, are they regular patrols like ABC, ABC, ABC?
Mostly, yes.
Okay.
You guys do spot some guard changes, but for the most part, there aren't. These guys are kind of, they probably each kind of do a sector and then go back and do something else for a while, whether that's like rest or do something within the keep, maybe guard the walls for a while, and then they go back on patrol.
Okay.
This is like classic truant work, so Little Sparkle's all over it.
Yeah.
She has pulled out like some paper and a pen and is mapping things, writing down descriptions.
Nice.
Large one looks like floating white sheet. 3 medium ones look like floating white sheets.
No, these guys.
These are all like
These guys just look
wearing
like
helmets.
soldiers.
Yeah.
Like you guys don't want to meet the ones that look like sheets yet. Those are the
Floating white
the
sheep wearing
specters, and they're gonna mess us up.
yeah. Those are the what are they called? Like the elites, right? But those guys get an action point. You don't want to mess with those.
Ooh, scary.
But yeah, it takes you guys pretty much the entire night, and into the next day. But you have both a reasonable map of the area, as well as some paths and timings that you think will probably be beneficial. You also, spend some time looking at the keep. The walls are very high. They are spiky at the top, and the patrols in the keep are pretty regular. So you spending some time clocking them does probably help, but it's really going to come down to split-second timing if you're going to try to sneak past them.
Do we see any kind of weaknesses in the defense?
Not any sort of obvious weakness, because, this is a big giant fortress that has a bunch of guards doing exactly like, it's like clearly designed. It's on top of a hill. It's like clearly designed to be very difficult to attack. Any like the obvious weaknesses will probably, or not obvious, but the only real weaknesses come from the fact that this is a dwarven keep that is being staffed mostly by not dwarves, so there might be something that dwarves know that these guys don't know.
Sure.
They are ghosts, so the ghostliness makes them susceptible to certain things which normal people wouldn't be, although simultaneously they have certain advantages that normal people don't.
Not needing to eat.
Yeah, it is kind of the advantages that you can suss out are small, but they're there.
All right. Well, then I guess once we have a full report, we will track back to the cave and see if the rest of our support has arrived.
Okay. Once you guys make your way down to the cave, there's a lot more dwarves in there, and clearly there's a lot more also in another chamber. There's about maybe 150 dwarves here, plus Dwali's just kind of hanging out.
We'll report the findings.
Okay. There's a kind of a war council going on already, and they just kind of motion you in to look at the stuff that you have and look at it, nod, and it's a lot of beard stroking, looking at things.
They have one of those sweet tables where they like move things around.
No, this kind of has to be it's a very makeshift operation. Everything seems to be done in a very economical way. So if they do have any sort of a miniature type situation, there are like rocks and like random things that they had around, like a scabbard or something.
Sure.
Well, again, this information is very useful. We can definitely use this, and we shouldn't have too many problems getting right up to the keep. As we suspected, this place is very defensible from a direct assault, but a smaller group would have an easier time getting through. So our relatively small force should be able to sneak up and then coalesce right when the gate opens, especially with these patrol routes that you all got. So it just really comes down to whether you all are able to open the gate for us.
I think we could do that.
We will certainly try.
Very well. Get some rest. We will go. We will initiate tomorrow at daybreak. We believe that is when mystically the ghosts are weaker or weakest. So if that gives us any advantage that we can squeeze out, we're willing to take it.
All right.
All right. Well, we'll
Yes,
take
let's-
an extended rest, and we'll end the episode there this week. And hope that everybody, including you listening at home, get plenty of rest. We're getting towards the longest nights of the year, and we want to ensure that everyone has a long winter's nap before the excitement begins next time.
On Critical Hit!
There you
On
go,
Critical
Matthew.
Hit.
For the rest of you, podcast at majorspoilers.com. Drop us some letters. We haven't done a mailbag in a while, so get your questions in. Podcast at majorspoilers.com. And again, if you enjoy this show, if you enjoy it coming to your ears every week on a very regular basis, then how about you help us out a little bit? Head over to patreon.com/majorspoilers. All I'm asking for you to do is head over there, check out and see what we have, what we're offering, all the extra bonus content that you can get. And then if you feel like it's worth the effort and it's worth keeping this show going, maybe kick in a couple of bucks a month. That would certainly help us in the long run. So, until next time, here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2019 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.